Alright. Yeah, we're looking at the couch, which means it's time for another pickup video thing. Not much in terms of pickups this past month. So, yeah, pretty much. Sorry for the fan in the background. It is still kind of warm and stuff, so I have a fan to cool off, and still summer, even though we're nearing the end of August. It's still warm and all that stuff. Anyways, some so-so stuff for the most part. Let's start with some Colecovision pickups. Got here is looping. Got Time Pilot, which I think was based on an arcade game. I could be wrong. And Learning with Leaper. Learning with Leaper. There you go. Next one's kind of an interesting little find. This is Super Mario Brothers for the NES, the Hong Kong version. Looks like a white NES cartridge. And though I did not test this on my original NES, I did test it with the FC Twin. Works well enough, although it does run at a higher rate, so I'm guessing if you have like the appropriate Hong Kong version or a PAL NES or something like that, it'll probably work on the proper speed. But yeah, I thought that was kind of an interesting find. Next up, for the PS1, we got Parasite Eve, which, I'll be honest with you, I was hesitant in picking this up, but a friend of mine sort of nudged me to get to, if I come across a copy, give it a shot, because it's actually not that bad of a game. I've never played it before. It sort of piqued my interest, but never got around to it, so found a copy at a reasonable price for the most part, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Another one for the SNES, we got Super Adventure Island 2, which I'll be honest, you haven't really tried yet. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently it takes a more RPG direction. Takes a different direction from the rest of the Adventure Island games. I wouldn't know. I've only played like a couple of them, but it's more of an RPG element apparently, or something like that. I could be wrong. But yeah. Anyways, next up for the GameCube, we have Gauntlet Dark Legacy. Yeah, the back cover is kind of shit, but the gameplay is well enough. Some of you might be familiar with a game called Gauntlet Legends. This is essentially an expanded version of that game, and well, I really liked Gauntlet Legends. I thought I remember playing Gauntlet Legends in the arcade, and I thought it was a pretty fun, game, and this is pretty much more of the same, which I kind of like, so I'll get no argument from there. That's actually a pretty good game, in my book, at least. And then we, last couple games, I don't feel bad in really picking up, because, anyways, we got Smash TV for the Game Gear, and this is pretty much the worst version of Smash TV ever. And I could say that I've played it already. It's not that great of a version, and in all honesty, it's not much of a surprise, because for those who've played, if you're familiar with Smash TV, it's sort of like Robotron 2884. It's a twin stick. You got one joystick to move your player around, and you got another stick to you know, to aim your shots. And you can't do that with the Game Gear. That's what I get for paying attention to the viewfinder. Shit. It's one of those cases where you really shouldn't have bothered, but it was cheap. It was like a buck or something. Next one we got here is Star Wars: The New Droid Army for Game Boy Advance. I've heard mixed opinions on this. I've tried it for about I don't know, 5 minutes at most, and it was the most painful 5 minutes of I have a bad feeling about this. I'm being negative already, but you know, 5 minutes, they say 5 minutes isn't enough, but when it... By the way, I like how every time I use my lightsaber, my force meter goes down. When a game tells you the whole story in 5 minutes, it's usually a bad sign, but I don't know, we'll give it more of a shot. Excuse me. And finally, we got Aquaman for Xbox. The game by Lucky Chicken. And apparently this game is pretty bad, but I don't feel bad about picking this one up because this one was a freebie, so yeah. That's my August haul, pretty much. Some good stuff, some not so good stuff, and some Colecovision stuff. That's all I got. Anyways, till next time, take care. Good night. It's like they took the potentially fun stuff with the lightsabers and stuff and gave it the pacing and atmosphere of a typical Anakin Padme scene, with the horrible lines of dialogue and the so-so... Oh god. Just thinking about that's putting me to sleep, actually. Okay, I can't play this, I'm done. Sorry.